Hello, YXZ land. This is Eric with Dirt Launch Powersports from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And today we're going to go over our YXZ air intake system. This is hands down the best bang for the buck upgrade for your YXZ for the normally aspirated crowd. Yes, we are saying this is better than camshafts or exhausts or any other type of upgrade you can do. The horsepower and torque you get from this intake is nothing short of awesome. 13 foot-pounds of torque and 19 horsepower, but that doesn't tell the whole story. You need to look at our dyno chart and see the area under the curve at how nice the mid-range torque is, which is really handy on the trails, when you're racing, pretty much everywhere that torque is going to help you over the stock airbox. So let's go over the components here. The lower portion does come pre-assembled, as you see here. We have a nipple for the idle air valve. We have a port for the intake air temp sensor. Very important to have that as inside the airbox, not just dangle off in the breeze as we've seen on other intakes. These two fasteners are Loctited in to the standoffs, and of course these studs are also Loctited in. Everything in my hand here, except for of course the little studs and screws and the nipple, we do make in-house. We CNC the standoffs. We take preformed elbows and form them into the runners and the horns here. We CNC out the base. So like most of our products made right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Now the design of this, the height of the runners, the shape of the runners, everything was through a lot of trial and error, a lot of dyno testing, a lot of field testing, a lot of track testing. We probably made 3 dozen variations before we were happy with the results. And those results are what you see in front of you. And then of course we have the top portion right here that fits right on and is held on with wing nuts. You'll see that in a second. The filter is bespoke to Dirt Launch Powersports. This is not a K&N filter. This is much higher quality than a K&N filter, much higher flow, much higher filtration than you'll get from a similar size K&N. And you can order replacements for these through dirtlaunchpowersports.com. And the bottom portion here, as you can see, this is how it mounts with these 2 supporting brackets. And of course, the horns here, or the intakes, go to the throttle bodies. Okay? And the kit does come with these silicones and the fasteners. And speaking of what it comes with, this is how you'll receive it in the box. It'll come pre-assembled like this. The filter is still in the plastic wrap, so of course you want to take that off. More of that in just a second. It also comes with a outerwears filter, which you can see installed on one of our air intake systems right here. Helps get some of the bigger chunks out. I think most of us are familiar with these great products. You can take these off, wash them, clean them, replace them. And of course we do sell replacements of these on our website. The 2 mounting brackets with hardware, and also the silicone couplers, again with the necessary hose clamps. So back to when you take this apart and assemble it for the first time, part of the install instructions are you want to put a nice bead of like red tacky grease on the underside of the cover and also on the lower portion here, just to make sure you get a really nice tight seal. And you don't get any, unwanted dirt or debris in there. So where can you use this? We have people racing out in the sand dunes. We have people racing on hard packed clay, loose dirt, ice racing, woods racing, closed circuit, trails, trail riding, hill climbing. Works great everywhere. About the only thing you don't want to do with this intake, of course, is submerge it in water. So if you are doing a lot of mud bogs where your normal air box is, going under the mud and water, that's the one area we don't really recommend our air box. But we do have people do creek crossings with them where they get splashed with water. And of course, when you're doing ice racing, we've got guys where this is, getting covered in ice and snow and they don't have any issues. So yeah, it works great in almost all conditions. That pretty much covers it for our air intake system. A nice overview. The next video will be the full install on one of our engines here. And of course, just a quick look around the shop again. As you can see on our fab table, our fabrication team is busy at work making the lower plenum bases for our intercoolers and our plenum kit, and welding on the horns over there. And those other big aluminum pieces you see are another optional part of this air intake system that we will cover again in another video. So thank you for watching, and of course log on to our website if you want to make a substantial power gain for your normally aspirated YXZ. Pick up one of our air intake systems with an accompanying tune. And again, with the tuning, our normally aspirated tunes, you can always send back in for a reflash. So if you start with our air intake system and a DLP tune, and later put in cams and an exhaust, send us back your ECU and we'll reflash it for the cams and the exhaust with our airbox and so forth. Okay? Well, again, thank you for watching. Be safe out there. We'll see you on the trails. Goodbye.